Hello and welcome back to SF, a Giants recap. And the Giants, they beat the Reds today 6-3 in Cincinnati. The offense, they came through, and the pitching was pretty solid. A lot of great things we saw. A few things that will need adjustment, or at least a little bit of addressing for the Giants. But we're going to go over all that in today's recap. Make sure to subscribe and like if you do end up enjoying. But the Giants today, their offense came through later. Elliot Ramos, he put the Giants on the board with a home run. No one had a base runner or base hit or anything until the fifth inning when Ramos got that. And then we saw Jung-Hoo Lee. He came through with a double, which scored a run. So great to see Jung-Hoo Lee getting the bat on the ball. The middle of the lineup really contributed most of this game, and as well as Fitzgerald, who was at the bottom. So we saw Ramos, and then Jung-Hoo Lee, and then Chapman. He launched one into left field with a home run. So great to see from Chapman getting the power, his first of the year. And that one was not a cheapo. It was a pretty long fly ball into left field, and we got to see Chapman kind of contribute there. But we also got to see Chapman contribute on the defensive side of the ball. He had three great plays today. One coming forward, getting a double play. The other, a nice sliding grab to his backhand. And then another one, which is a short hop to him. So Chapman doing amazing on the defensive side of the ball. Keeping everything simple, it feels like. He's keeping in control, not trying to do too much, and his throws are on the line. Perfect types of throws today. Just right to Wade, doesn't even have to move. So you'll love to see when Chapman has that defense going for him. He won Gold Glove last year, but he had a lot of errors, and I think that's because he made a lot of those easier plays way more difficult than they needed to be. But today, none of those issues occurred, and he was able to keep everything simple. Tyler Fitzgerald, he had a stolen base, which I thought he was out. Krugen Kipe thought he was out. The umpires called him out, but they overturned the call, and that led to Willie Adames getting a sac fly, his first RBI. So great to see there of the Giants getting the sac bunt, which moved Fitzgerald over second, then the stolen base to third, and then the sac fly. That is textbook manufacturing a run for baseball, and I love those types of things. And the Giants, they need to keep doing those types of things, especially in games where you're winning 4-3. You need an extra run. You need that insurance run, and I think that's a great way to do it. And then on top of that, Elliot Ramos, he came through with a single, which scored another run. So that was what made it 6-3. And overall, though, the Giants' offense contributed mainly the middle of the lineup, but you saw a lot of great things from Fitzgerald. The stolen base, Jung-Hoo Lee had 2 hits today. The offense is looking very solid, scoring 6 runs today. Limited the strikeouts to only 7. So we got 17, we got 1, and now we kind of met in the middle with 7. And honestly, the Giants put a lot of balls in play, a lot of hard hits, but it really took a while to get going. 5 innings. And speaking of 5 innings, Robbie Ray, he had a perfect game going through 5 innings, and then kind of fell apart. He was going everything was going to plan. He had everything working, locating, not leaving pitches up in the zone for hitters. He was being efficient. And then when there was a pitch clock violation, got in his head, then there's a timeout, and you could just tell that he was flustered, and then he gives up a home run. You cannot do that. If you're a veteran pitcher, you know better than to get yourself down. You're just fine. You're winning 4-0. There's no reason to be frustrated. No reason to let it even get to you. If you let a pitch clock violation, so what? Settled in. If you walk this guy, great. Get the next one. But he throws a meatball right down the middle to Austin Wynns, former Giant, who hits a home run. And then to continue that, he gives up another home run. So just the pitch location after that was not necessarily like something mechanical or anything like that. It was, in my opinion, pure mental. He cannot let that get to him. Has to settle down. Has to keep getting his pitches, because that makes us use an extra arm in the bullpen. It makes him not have as much confidence going into the next start. Little things like that really hurt us, and I think that if Robbie Ray can fine-tune his mental aspect of the game, then we can see a lot better performance from him overall. Because 5 innings, no hits, no walks. He'd have 4 strikeouts. He's doing great. And then now you look at it and you're like, oh, 5 1/3. He allows 3 runs, 3 hits. That's not a great outing, even though it pretty much was. He was doing just fine. but one little thing and he kind of collapsed. And so we need to really get that kind of fine-tuned or focused on for the Giants. The rest of the bullpen did really well. Lou Trevino, he came out, he gave us a nice outing. Eric Miller, I don't get bringing Eric Miller in when there's righties, but thankfully it worked out, and he was able to get out of the inning. Then we saw Tyler Rogers, he got bailed out thanks to Chapman, like I mentioned. And then Kamudval, he came to close since Ryan Walker is dealing with back tightness. So good to see Kamudval get the save today and get a strikeout along with it. So overall, though, Giants did really well and got the win, their second win of the year, and won the series. So now we'll head to Houston and we'll see how everything goes there. I'll see you next time for a new SF at Giants Recap video.